for example, on 18, that's very tricky for a lot of people because you see the water over there, and in other areas where the lake is not man-made, it's a natural lake, you can bet that the natural terrain slopes that way toward the water. Well, this is all man-made lake. Yeah. It's very beautiful, but it's cut on the side of a hill, and it's controlled by irrigation and the drainage system. When you get up on that green and you're looking, the mountain is on the opposite side of the lake, so your putt does not really break toward the water. Like you kind of get, it gets absorbed in your mind because you're used to seeing that at other courses. So you have to know what's man-made, you have to know what's really natural, which way the terrain goes. The washes out here, you know, the washes are natural. You can't re-divert that kind of natural flow of water. So when you're looking at putts, like for example, on number 11 on Lost Gold, it's pretty clear that the putt kind of breaks that way, but you have to remember that if you picture that putting green, you have putting green, wash, mountain. But where you are, it's actually breaking toward the wash.
Yeah.
But yet, it's breaking against the flow of the mountain. So you have to take into consideration the very, very local terrain first. Because remember, when you're hitting at number 11, you've got a hill up behind the green. Well, that little hill has a greater effect on your ball coming back down toward that wash than the mountain does, because although we are on a hill, that little hill coming backwards is more important. So you have to kind of look at that kind of stuff and just kind of see where are those. Like for example, on number 3 on Prospector actually goes in the same direction, so it's a double, right? There's actually the wash that runs down the left side of number 3 and goes around the back of the green. Well, the mountain's actually pushing everything that way too. Right. So the green, you know, that green kind of slopes away from you as you're hitting in, but it also slopes down toward the wash as well on that side. So you kind of have to be aware of that kind of stuff. The very, very subtle small breaks, those are the ones that are going to have a greater effect than the mountain. If I were to call the mountain effect an amount, it would only be maybe an inch to 2 inches of either hold, right? Okay. So if we're putting directly this way, and I'm see a putt that's maybe breaking from right to left, but the mountain is on this side, I'm only figuring on maybe an inch to 2 inches of counter effect.
Oh. So I've given the mountain too much due.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the hole itself is about 4.5 inches. So as long as you're somewhere within that, you've got a pretty good chance of making it. Most people come out, and especially when they bring guests out, they do their guests a disservice by trying to explain the mountain, when the mountain only affects an inch to 2 inches of break anyway. Now there is a little bit more break even on the washes and some of that other stuff. So it's more important to be aware of that than it is to factor in how the mountain affects.